What was it like before the lodge? It was incredibly crowded because what we did is that we had the very first camp, and then those girls started calling afterwards and saying, hey, I have a math test. Hey, can I come over? Hey, I had a fight with my mom. Hey, I'm not sure about what to do with this thing. Hey, I have a math test. Do you know any Spanish? And started coming to my mom and dad's house, and that's how the tutoring program was started. The lodge was built we started it in 1997, and we got a grant from something called the United Thank Offering for $30,000 to build a classroom. And so we were going to build this classroom, and we had a prison crew that was here from Denmark Prison, just like the prisoners that clean up the roads for the Department of Highways.
Yeah.
And the sheriff at the time was friends with Justice Workman. Margaret Workman was the first state Supreme Court justice for West Virginia who was a woman. And he talked to her about the High Rocks program, and she helped us get a prison crew that helped us clear the land and build the campground. And one of the prisoners on our crew had been a contractor before he went to jail, and so he knew how to build things. The lodge was originally used for the tutoring program and for our offices. So the two little offices on the far end of the building were our two offices, and the rest of it was for reunions and overnights and tutoring. Oh, the flood. The flood happened this year, the terrible flood, and it was awful. Is that we had a lot of really cold weather this year. And we have another problem, which is that the lodge is actually a war zone. The lodge is a war zone with the squirrels. So we have been trying, and we've always had squirrels that would sneak into the lodge, but it's never been like it was this year, where literally the squirrels were chewing through metal to get back into the lodge. So we had a snap of super cold weather this winter, right? Mm-hmm. And the heating line on this end of the building right here, on the second floor, in a place where the evil squirrels had been, did not have enough insulation, and it froze because it was so cold for so many days. And then we had one day finally when it was 50 degrees, and it was a Sunday, and everything was snowed in, and those lines thawed. It had busted the line. So when it thawed, it just started running. It started flooding across the floor, and it flooded for 2 days before we found it. So it was over 5,000 gallons of water. It was like dumping a swimming pool in that office up there. So it went all the way across the middle of the second floor. It rained into the library, and it rained through the library into the basement, and it ran through the floorboards across the ceiling, and rained in the dining room. Well, we couldn't do anything else. We just had to sort of shut down all of fundraising and programs, and you have to remember the snow was like this high probably when the flood was happening. So even when we discovered that it was flooding, you couldn't drive up the road. So we had to hike from the end of the road up to the lodge. So then we were in the freezing cold, in the snow, pulling out all of the soaking wet. It wasn't flood mud because it wasn't muddy, and so we tried to get everything out enough so that it could get aired out. And Randy and Justin came, thank God, who are our contractors who come and fix stuff for us. But we all worked on it together, trying to get all that stuff out of here, and just truckload after truckload after truckload of books to the landfill. So the lodge gave us room to grow, and it gave all of the High Rocks girls a home that is theirs.